All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first meeting you have had. You're going to have under this batch of the Collab Lab. This is our first time being a mentor as well because this is the first South Asian batch, and we are pretty excited about it. We are a little ahead on schedule, a little back on schedule. Sorry. So for the first week, you might have a little extra work to do, but we'll go through all of that so that you're comfortable. Um, I have already seen we have already seen your profiles, and we see that you have filled up um, the Google sheet as we asked you. But we would still like to have a round of introductions from all of us. We can start. I am Param Siddharth. I am a software engineer and musician from India. I am from the state of Bihar. I speak six languages. I'm currently in Bengaluru and I'm working full time as an engineer. And I learned about the Collab Lab from Raj, and I'm really excited to be a mentor here. I think Raj can go next.
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. I am Raj Gaurav, a senior at the University of London, and I am a self-taught software and electronics engineer. And I have been trading crypto since 2017 and learning about different topics. Yeah, and like I have proven expertise in software engineering through my projects and internship. So recently I was a LFX mentee. Prior to that, I was MLH fellow, and prior to that, I worked as a software engineer in DPS Munich. And yeah, that's about me. How about Prati? Can you go next?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. My name is Krati. I am a final year student pursuing my bachelor's in computer science engineering from India. Apart from that, I have been a part of a lot of communities like Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador community. I have also been a part of Google Women Engineering community and also a recipient of Ericsson Scholarship for women engineers. I am really excited to be a part of this program as it's my first time to mentor like somebody and really excited to work with you all. So I
Also,
guess now the mentees can give the introduction. Let's start with
I think it would be a good idea
Oh,
if.
I can go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm Laura. I'm Canadian, but I live in Karachi, Pakistan. Um, and I actually have sort of a background in tech. My husband and I ran an e-commerce store for about 8 years, but I took a long career break because of my kids, and I'm just trying to get back into tech now.
I see. That's nice. And I think your biggest highlight is your username, Laura. It's Labracadabra for those who don't know. Okay, I think Tuba can go next.
Hello everyone, this is Tuba from Karachi, Pakistan. I've been learning web development for a long time on and off, but started taking it seriously from 2022 and found about the Collab Lab from Twitter search. And I'm so excited to be here and learn from you all. Thank you.
Hey, nice to know about you, Tuba. Shah can go next.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Shah, and I'm also originally from Pakistan, based in Dubai at the moment. And I studied in Turkey, so spent around 5 6 years in Turkey, and did software engineering. After that, I pivoted to e-commerce and um, sort of set up different companies, but burnt out. Then I learned that my passion lies in building and not in customer support and marketing. So I pivoted to web development. I recently completed 100 Devs bootcamp. I see Laura is from there. And yeah, so nice to meet you all and looking forward to working together.
Nice to meet you too, Shah. Love the enthusiasm. Um, Yeah, we can. I think Shagun can go next.
Hello everyone, myself Shagun Mengi. I'm a second year computer science BTech student from J&K, India. I've participated in some hackathons and still in learning phase. I love exploring different tech stacks to expand my skill set. And I'm really excited to be a part of this program and I will love to work with you all. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Shagun. The one person we have been looking forward to is Ayu. She is the code of conduct responder for our batch. Hey, Ayu.
Thank you, Taram. Hi. Hi everyone. I'm Ayu, and I'm a software developer and also a tech blogger based in the Netherlands. And I will be your code of conduct responder throughout the cohort. So I will be around Slack like most of the time, and look forward for me to come to your DMs and have a one-on-one chat meeting. And well, have fun.
Thank you, Ayu. I'm curious if you're comfortable. Are you originally from the Netherlands?
No, I'm originally from Indonesia.
I predicted that. So I was having a
Yeah?
conversation. Yeah, I was having a conversation with Raj previously, and
Yeah.
I mentioned that I could read in your name that you're from
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia.
Oh, okay. You're familiar with Indonesia, or can you speak Indonesian?
I can't speak Bahasa Indonesia, but I know a little Sanskrit, and I know that's where that the two
Awesome.
languages are related. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And since we're speaking of languages, there are a couple of doubts I have. So let me share something with you all. Okay, first of all, can you see the screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I noticed that three of our participants are either from Pakistan or in Pakistan right now. And I'm surprised to see that Laura and Shah have mentioned only English in the languages. Um, do you, is that true? Do you know
But
only
in
these?
Urdu,
Hmm.
I know Urdu, Turkish, a little bit of German.
Okay, yeah, let me also mention that here. Urdu, Turkish, and a little bit of German. Yeah, I was surprised that you've been to Turkey. How can you not know Turkish? That's nice. We have quite a few multilinguals here. What about you, Laura?
So I know a bit of French, and I used to be bilingual in German, but I spent a year there as an exchange student, but I've lost most of it by now. I don't speak Urdu. I am not actually from Pakistan, so I unfortunately I never learned the language.
I see. I see. What we were thinking, we were wondering, we were thinking that since most people are from this particular circle in the South Asia, maybe if all of them know at least Hindi or Urdu, we can use Hindi/Urdu as a means of communication. But no problem, we have English, which is the common language here, so we can talk in that. Yeah, and I see that all of us use JavaScript, and Laura, your primary operating system is Mac, while everyone else here uses Windows. So this is a very common thing in South Asia. People generally use and prefer Windows over Mac. In the West, it's quite the opposite. And let's see. Oh, knitting and crochet. Yeah. So when I read that, very recently I purchased some crochet products from an independent creator on Instagram. So I found that very interesting, Laura. Um, yeah, that's it's really great to meet you all. And as you can see, we are trying to build an infrastructure on top of which we can run all further meetings. And there's another sheet here named availability, where I tried to map out the availability of all of you based on what you mentioned in the Slack. So, did you all have a chance to look at it and make sure, verify everything is correct?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. What
Yep, I took a
about
look. It seems fine.
Shah, Tuba? Sorry, Shagun.
Yeah, it's right.
Is it okay, Shah?
Yeah, seems good. Yeah.
Okay. So there are very few concerns, but let's say Shah and Tuba are pairing up. That is the one situation where I'm able to see only one common slot for the two. So I hope you'll be able to work something out when you get paired, because as you can see in the repository, we have it mentioned, I think in the project brief, um, which week who will be paired in. Yeah, so we have a list here. So when Shah and Tuba will be paired, that's when there will be a little time crunch you'll have to somehow manage. But it's 5 hours a week, so I'm pretty sure you'll be able to handle that. And let me quickly get something for you to revisit the the weekly plans. I think you were all present at the orientation, weren't you? Or some of you were not there. I remember seeing
I
I
Shah.
wasn't
watched the
there,
recording.
but I
Yeah,
watched
I
the
was
recording.
there.
Okay, okay. So we all have either attended it or watched the recording. Okay, that's good. Let me pull that up. Okay, there's sorry about that. Let me quickly find it. Actually, I'm recording as well as sharing my screen as well as doing this, so it's uh, putting a lot of pressure on the machine. Yeah, found it. So I will show this notion once more, and I think yeah, I this is different, but you must have seen this mm, in the orientation as well. So I'll just go through the schedule once more. Yeah, okay. So if you look at this, we have weekly syncs, and we have, so the week that you're in right now, this is week 1, and the previous week was week 0, and that's when we were supposed to finalize the slot for the meetings, which we unfortunately could not, because this is our first time as well. So now we're trying to understand it, and you might have to go a little fast in the first week, but we are here to help you, so don't take any pressure if you make any mistakes. If you delay something, we are here to help you. You'll be able to get through. There are going to be odd numbered weeks. So the current week, week 1, is an odd numbered week, and even numbered weeks. Every week we are going to have a 1 hour sync on Sunday, the time slot for which we'll just finalize. And in every odd numbered week, you'll have a learning module in the middle of the sync, and in every even numbered week you'll have a retro where we go over what we did previously and how it went, what went right, what went wrong. And an exception is week 0, for which you have another workshop, another learning module, even though it is even numbered, and we will fit it in this week as well as next week. And you're also going to have office hours every single week for 1 hour, and there's no fixed schedule for that. Every time it will be a different mentor out of the 3 of us, and we will schedule it separately with you in accordance to the slots that you have mentioned here. Okay, and now we'll talk about the weekdays. So before that, does any one of you have any questions? Okay, good to go. So we'll talk about what you're going to do on every single day of the week, how the flow goes. So essentially, let's look at it from Mondays. On Mondays, you start working on the issue that you're assigned, and you schedule your pairing sessions with each other. So it's all pair programming. You have to find the slots where you can work together, and you have to work together for finishing up on that issue. And we really recommend you to just do as much as is in the scope of the issue. Don't do more than that, because then you might not be able to gain the full experience of the program. And also, sometimes, the way the pairs are made, one person knows something better than the other, and we all need to have a chance to learn from each other. So that's what we're trying to do. And on Monday, you need to create a draft PR from a new branch and start working on that. Hopefully, most of the office hours will also be around this range: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And by the end of Thursday, you should have finished the PRs and reviewed each other's work, which means you should be confident that your work is done, and you should be ready to present it to the mentors for review. On the Fridays, we will review your PR and we'll leave comments if any. And on Saturdays, you'll finish up on those comments. And finally, on Sunday, as we all know, we'll have the sync, when we will start by finalizing the existing PRs and merging them if we can. Then having the learning module or the retrospective, and by the end, assigning new issues to every single pair, and generating the new pairs based on the list here. Do you have any questions from this? All right. The time zone that I think we should work in is Pakistan Standard Time, because for Shah, he is in UAE. It's 1 hour before, so he can just subtract 1 hour. And here in India, we are 30 minutes ahead. So Shagun, you can just add 30 minutes to the time. And this is how the schedule is. Feel free to look at it for your pairing and other plans. And this also brings us to the important decision. We have to schedule our weekly syncs on Sundays. So let's look at a common available time for everyone. I noticed that there is a big chunk over here, which seems to be fitting in for most people. But we still need to find some common time. So, Shah, would you be able to be available 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Sundays? And I'm talking about Pakistan time, so it will be 11 a.m., 12 p.m. for you.
I'll let you know in a day. I need to check my schedule.
Okay, so you're not sure that you'll be available on Sundays at this
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Usually I'm not, but if need be, I can make the space, but I need some time.
What about Saturdays?
Saturdays I can make it.
Okay. 12 to 1 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time.
Yeah, 11 p.m. 11 a.m.
11 a.m. to 12 p.m. your time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we seem to have this slot fitting in for almost everyone else already. This is for weekend and these are for every day. Okay. What about you, Kriti? Kriti, can you?
Uh, yeah, sure. I'll make some time.
Okay. 12:30 to 1:30 IST.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this slot seems to work for all of us on Saturday. So we can have the weekly syncs on Saturdays instead of Sundays, because that seems to be the only slot that's working for all of us. So at the end of the meeting, I'll schedule a slot. I'll schedule a meeting for all of us from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, and that is when we will have um, these. That is when we'll have these. Okay, and this is week one, which means today we will assign you some issues based on what you would like to work on, and I'll show you around a few other things as well which are important. So this is the retrospective board. We haven't talked about it right now. We'll talk more about it when we actually do the retros. As I told you, you'll have retros on even numbered weeks. So this is week one. Next week, you're going to have a retro next Saturday. And what you're going to do is you'll just zoom in to that particular week. Sorry about that. And then you'll take these cards and you'll put them into each of these 4 boxes, which define how the previous couple of weeks went. So continue in this particular green box, you'll put what helped us move forward. Here, what problems you faced, what held you back, what can we do differently, and what we should do. This is similar to the SWOT analysis that we used to do back in school. And it's pretty great. In work environments, it's a very productive way of keeping yourself going on the right track and making sure everything's going right. So we'll have it next week. And there's a project board that you'll find here in the repository if you already have access to it. I suppose all of you have access to the repository. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think we can delete this. This is not needed anymore. So there's this is the project board. You'll find it under the projects tab of the repository. So once you are assigned an issue and once you start working on it, you are supposed to move issues like this to the different boards. For those who don't know, this is known as a Kanban board, and you manage tasks while working in teams using tools like these. There's a tool called Jira, which is an industry standard for the Kanban board, which even my company uses. So this can be an experience for GitHub projects is a really nice Kanban board, and it's used for many open source applications. This is something you can use and you can learn from. Yeah, so today we are going to assign you 2 issues, and we'll do that through the pairs that we have here. So we have for this week we have Shahazeb and Shagun, and we have Laura and Tuba. So I would recommend that the Collabis have a meeting with each other sometime. Schedule one-on-ones with each other when you get time. You have all the data you need available here, and you also have access to each other's emails in case you need to send each other invites. Make sure to follow each other on GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and post about your onboarding into the program. And yeah, we are really excited. Do we have any questions before we go ahead and assign the issues? You can also use this raise hand tool inside Google Meet if you want. Sorry about this. We are using Google Meet this time because there's some issue with the credentials. From the next time, we'll use Zoom for all our calls. So make sure you have Zoom installed in your machine if you don't already. And every meeting will be recorded, including this one, hopefully, if my machine could handle it. And they will all be uploaded to YouTube as well. I'll make sure the links are shared with you. So in case you miss any meeting or any learning module, retro, or office hours, you'll still have access to all of them through the Slack. Okay. All right. Looks like we don't have
Also,
any.
like
Mm-hmm.
all three of the mentors are like self-taught and they know how hard it is to learn things on your own. So feel free to reach out to us in case for support related to anything, whether it's about setting up your dev environment, or you are facing some bugs or getting some errors, or regarding anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Raj. This also brings us to an important question. So I already see that in the repository, three of you have already uh, pushed your first commit, which is for adding yourself to contributing contributors.md. Let me see. Shah has already done it. Laura has already done it. Tuba has already done it. Sorry about that. Um, and the only person remaining is Shagun. So Shagun, so that you understand, what you need to do is you need to edit this file, the contributors.md file, and you just need to add yourself to this list. So make sure you do that and add yourself to the repository to get yourself started. And you
Yeah, sure.
are,
Mm.
mhm. And you're
Yeah,
paired
sure,
with.
I'll do.
Okay, you're paired with Shah, so you can take his help if you want because he has already done that. And now we'll talk about the issues. But before that, again, uh, since the three of you have already done that, do you have Git and development environment set up on your machine already?
I
Um,
have.
okay,
Yeah.
Tuba
Yep.
has. What about you, Shagun?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
Okay. So assuming you all have Git set up, you all have a code editor set up on your machine, we'll move forward and assign you issues. But in case you have any issues with the setup, feel free to let us know. We'll help you out. There's a really good description here in the README, but we can still help you out. And it's good if we fix that in the first week itself so that uh, from the next week onwards, you don't have issues with the setup at least. Let's look at the issues. And there are two issues that we have for the first week. And I'll show you the issues and maybe we can have an explanation for both of the issues. Um, okay. All right. So the first issue is regarding the database connection, being able to fetch the items in the list as well as being able to set new items in the list. So this requires using Firebase, and Raj has a lot of experience with Firebase. So I would want Raj to explain the issue to you.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, can you please go through the last line? I just lost your word.
Um,
Since yeah.
yeah, since Raj has a lot of experience with Firebase, he can talk you through this issue. And also, so I'm looking at the chat and I want to mention that we will have a learning module on Git and GitHub at the end of the week. So I think you'll learn from that as well if you're not able to, if you don't think you're already good at these. And we have struggled a lot with these in our early years as well. So we know the challenges you're going to face as self-taught developers. So feel free to let us know in the learning module that you'll have at the end of the week, and we can help you out. Yeah, over to you, Raj.
Yeah, so just for a brief introduction of Firebase, it's like backend as a service, but it's much more to that. Firebase offers like lot of services that you can use out of the box that you don't have to build manually from scratch on your backend. It could be like authentication, it could be like database, or it could be like uh, some kind of media storage. So what we do in that case is like we use the Firebase API, follow their docs, and yeah, just render content on the front end, or make some requests, or or like or like set up the Firebase rules. So like who can access the database, or what we can do with the API keys. Yeah.
Thank you, Raj. So uh, you'll need to learn about Firebase if you don't already know about it to work on this issue. What you need to do essentially is to build the app further such that it is able to read the list of items from the backend and present them in the front end in the application, and also such that it's able to save changes back into the application. How exactly are you going to do that? You can consider adding a button that saves the state, and when that button is clicked,
Well,
the entire data is sent into the Firebase. Yeah, Raj, were you saying something?
yeah, I was saying that we should not give like direct algorithmic steps what to do. We just look like give some hints.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sorry about that. So yeah, feel free to work on it and let us know if you have any issues. Right now we haven't assigned this to anyone. Let's go through the next issue, and after that we can take up the assignment part. So this issue is related to routing. We want to have the ability to navigate to other pages in the application using the navigation links. In traditional HTML, we can just use very simple links. But here you have to use some things that are mentioned here in the chat, sorry, in the notes, and you'll need to have a look at this. If you have some knowledge of React, you'll be able to do this. So is there any issue that you find interesting and you want to work on?
also like it's easy to get overwhelmed when you are transitioning from vanilla JavaScript, HTML, CSS to React, and trying to configure these dynamic routes, or trying to fetch something and display something with the React component.
So let's see. Laura, which issue do you find more interesting to work on?
I have mostly worked on backends that I've actually made myself, so I'm pretty familiar with the CRUD part of it. I think I'd probably like to take an issue that's a bit more front end focused.
I see. In that, so are you able to recognize which issue is more front end focused in these two?
I'm sorry, I actually can't see the screen. I think my ad blocker is causing problems.
Oh, okay. No problem. From the next time, we'll definitely switch to Zoom. Uh, I'll talk to Stacy and Andrew today and make sure that I have access to the Zoom. And you all should get your invites by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, depending on how soon we have access to the Zoom. The browser, yeah, sure. Actually, I am recording, so it's a little more complicated. Let's do this. Is that better? Are you? Thank you. Uh, okay, so let me tell you. One issue is related to fetching the data and presenting it and saving the data in the backend, and the other one is related to routing. So looks like the second one is more related to front end. Do you have any preferences, Shagun?
Yeah, I guess for now I would like to work on front end part. Though I have worked on back end also, but I guess for the first time, let's take up for the front end.
Okay, so let's decide on a conclusion. Let's let me see. We have Shagun and Laura, and we have Shahzeb and Tuba. And Shagun and Laura both showed interest in the front end. So issue number 2, I'm assigning it to Shagun and Laura. Sorry, am I looking at it correctly? This is week 1, right? Oh, this is week 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm assigning this to Shahzeb and Shagun, and this one. And issue number 1, I'm assigning it to Laura and Tuba. Let's go ahead with that, and let's expect you to come up with some results by the end of this week. I know it's a short amount of time for this week, but I still believe you can do it. And if you need any help, we are here to help you. So I'll go ahead and assign you. And if you want, we'll have another meeting tomorrow as well. You don't have to come, but we'll try to make ourselves available tomorrow so that we can help you catch up, because we are going a little fast this week. And yeah, I think I can stop sharing my screen now. And I'll also we're also working on installing a workflow in the channel, which will create threads for you, where you can do all the discussion that you need to do during the pairing and after the pairing for working on your issue. The reason why we are doing that is because if it's transparent to us, we can also look at the things that you're doing or the problems that you're facing, and we can share resources and help you out on the way. So once that is done, by the start of next week, you will have threads. Till then, you can talk within the TCL-60 channel. I'll create a thread for you manually for now, and that's where you can have the conversation. Any questions so far? Excited to start working on your first issue?
Yeah, I have a question regarding draft pull requests. Like I've never used them, so I don't know what makes a draft pull request and how to do them.
Okay, yeah, good question. Thank you, Shazeb. So what happens is you create a new branch, you start working on it, and you create a pull request from that branch. Now GitHub gives you the option to also create a draft pull request. I think it's best explained if it's demonstrated. So I would like to demonstrate it. That would be better. There it is. Yeah. Okay, we are in the... I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, Shah?
I can.
Okay. So let me just go to any repository. Let's say I go to this repository and I try to create a new pull request. So I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So when I'm trying to create a pull request, look at this. So this is the window I'm on, and over here I get this option to create either a pull request or a draft pull request. And if it's a draft pull request, then it looks grayed out, and then there's no option to merge it. So when you create a draft pull request, it's just to create a web-based view of that branch and its diff, so that we can continuously review it even before it's completely ready to merge. So it's just a way to keep the reviewers, the maintainers updated about the changes you're making in your branch, so that when it's ready to merge, they have already done most of the reviewing, and you're better prepared to have your pull request merged. I think I can show you an example of a draft PR as well. So this is an open source project where I have mentored before, and I'm pretty sure there must be a draft PR here. Oh, okay. So almost all of them have been undrafted. Yeah, but I can.
Uh,
Mhm.
I just sent one of mine draft PR.
There it is. So let me show it to you. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's a draft PR. And let's say I had merging permissions in this repository. I would still not be able to click merge and merge this PR because it's draft. So essentially, what a draft PR means is it's a PR that's not supposed to be merged. It's a PR that's just there for review before it's ready to be merged. Okay, and it's good for continuous review. It's a new feature of GitHub and it's very useful. And for those of you who are not used to Git and GitHub, who don't understand the meaning of what a PR is, a pull request, don't worry about it. After some time, you'll be very good at it because there are some things you learn only after working on them. I am from the South Asia as well, and I know how challenging it is to work with Western terminology in the engineering world. But I promise you that these are just fancy terms that are made to scare us. There's nothing too complicated about them once you start working on them. So, uh, really excited to have you all in the learning module at the end of the week. And let me know if you have any more questions. If not, we can go ahead and end the meeting. Laura, Tuba, Shagun, Shah.
Also, like you could be having like a lot of assumption in your mind. Okay, are we going to invent this kind of algorithm, or are we going to invent this kind of programming or this kind of piece of code? No, you know, in computer science or in any part of engineering, we use like abstraction and like lot of documentation and manual work that allows us to build product very quickly or build applications very quickly just by following the docs. So keep in mind that we are not going to invent any kind of thing here. We are just following the docs that we are going to get from Firebase or from React.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to collaborate and being able to learn things just by reading documentation and watching videos is an essential skill. Even though everything can't be self learned, you will need to self learn when you work in tech. So that's a skill you have to acquire. And yeah, um, do we have any questions at all?
I have a question.
Yes, Tuba.
Do we need to keep a meeting like Laura and I will be working on same issue? So do we need to keep a meeting this week, or it's up to us, like how we
Um,
handle it? This.
Yeah, so when you pair, it's recommended to be in a meeting. You don't have to constantly share your screen, but if you're in a meeting and you're working together, that's best. Um, but it's up to you how you wish to collaborate, how you wish to pair. Usually, when we pair, we work on two different parts of an issue. But since these issues are very granular, it would be better if you share your screen and pair up. And for that, you can use that sheet that I have already shared with you all for finding a common slot. And you can work for 30 minutes to 1 hour every single day for the first 4 or 5 days of the week to have the pull request ready. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Okay, looks like we have no more questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the TCL-60 channel and we'll be happy to help you out with them. And
Also, also, like one of the most important pillars of the collab lab is learning how to collaborate and build software engineering products while working remotely and while using the latest tools that are used in the industry for communications and, yeah, for transparency. So that's why we are using Jira. Oh, that's why we are using Miro and doing retrospective weekly plannings, office hours. We are trying to mimic how a real world software engineering environment looks like.
yes, um, yeah, so that's pretty much it about the meeting. I'll stop the recording now